Deep dives. So in this year's event, we're going to do a lot of deep dives. Deep dives are areas where we see the most growth, the most ROI, the most promise in terms of the entire chatbot AI virtual assistant space. So some of the deep dives we're going to be doing this year are going to be in customer service. They're going to be in sales and marketing. They're going to be in internal use cases or bots for employees. And they're also going to be in voice. So in each of these areas, we're going to do a deep dive and we're going to find out what works best and what tools to use and what's the best way to think about it. We're also going to do deep dives in natural language processing, which is the underlying technology that powers all of this. And then to put it all together, we're also going to talk about conversational design. That way you know how to design these products to reach maximum effectiveness. So our customer service deep dive is going to feature Google's assistant team. It's going to feature Casey Phillips from ADP. And in this case, we're going to talk about what kind of questions can bots answer easily. So and we're going to talk about intents, entities. We're going to talk about the 5 levels of bots in terms of their capabilities. And then we're also going to talk about what kind of results you can expect from a good customer service bot. And most importantly, where to get started, right? Because there's certain areas when you're first starting your bot where you should focus on, and that's the low-hanging fruit. We're going to show you how to find the low-hanging fruit. Next is sales and marketing. Sales and marketing is an older use case that most people or a lot of companies have already implemented. And these are the bots you see on websites where they capture a lead. They qualify the website visitor, they find out what the person needs, and then they surface this information. The thing is that sales and marketing bots are still kind of in their infancy, and as this space grows, these bots are going to capture more and more data. So they're going to be able to personalize that experience for the users to such an extent that they'll be able to even predict when someone is ready to buy. So we're going to talk about sales and marketing bots. And then also in terms of platform, the sales and marketing bots, right now, a lot of them are on websites, but we're seeing more and more of them come on SMS. And that's going to be another really huge channel that's on the horizon. And then the other really exciting use case, which nobody talks about, this is probably the most popular use case, and almost virtually no one talks about it because it's an internal use case. And these are bots for employees. A great example of this is HR bots. These are bots that either help with the hiring process or they help with the onboarding process of employees. So that's one level of them. Another level of internal bots is conversational RPAs. These are little robots that do things for employees, and instead of the employee having to use some antiquated enterprise software, instead they can chat the bot and ask it questions. An example of this would be like a marketing RPA conversational bot, and you can ask it questions like, what's our budget for Facebook ads this year? As an example. What we're seeing is an enormous increase of these types of bots within organizations. One of the best examples of this is Chase. They built this bot called Coin. And what it does is it reads legal contracts and it matches them up to their template. In the first year, Coin was so effective that it saved about 360,000 lawyer hours by reviewing contracts with the bot instead of actual lawyers. So internal use case is one of the largest, if not the largest. And then we're also going to talk about voice. Now, voice is still in its infancy more or less, but it's also one of the fastest growing technologies. And it's totally changing the way we do things as consumers. So for example, a lot more search is happening on voice. So if you're a company, you have to start thinking about how voice is going to impact discoverability, how it's going to impact SEO, how it's going to impact search engine result pages, and so on. So for this, we have an awesome panel that includes Amazon, and they're experts in this. Also, we have Artie Merritt on that panel, and we're going to do a deep dive in voice. And then we have the underlying technology, which is natural language processing and natural language understanding. And that one, we have 2 amazing speakers. We have Alex from Rasa, we have Yi from Rule AI, and they're both going to talk about the current capabilities and what state-of-the-art NLP looks like and how easy it is to implement. So as these tools get better, they actually get easier to use over time. So in Alex's talk, he's going to talk about the 5 stages of NLP, what stage we currently are, and what kind of products we could produce with it. We're also going to talk about what the next stage is and how soon it's coming up. So, and last but not least, we're going to talk about conversational design, because when there's limitations in NLP or NOU, there's really good ways you can design around those limitations. And it's really important that designers know what the limitations of NLP are, and that also engineers and NLP developers know how designers could potentially work around a problem. So that way, a designer isn't doing this, they're doing this instead, or a developer. So essentially, the conversational design is really, really important. It's one of the most critical aspects of creating a great conversational experience. And in this, we're going to have Salesforce, Greg Bennett, he's exceptional UX designer. We're going to have Vittorio. From Bot's side, you're going to have Hans from Conversational Design Institute, and they're going to talk about copywriting and conversational design. And then, of course, we put everything together in our last panel, and we show you how to put it all together and actually get your bot rolling. So if these topics interest you at all, and you haven't gotten your ticket yet, make sure you click below register. And that's what day 1 looks like. Day 2, we're actually going to design a bot. So you're going to actually apply all the conversational design things that you learned from day 1. You're going to build a customer journey bot, which is a bot that does lead generation and lead qualification, and then also handles about 10 or 15 FAQs. At the end of it, you'll get a certificate in conversational design. And then on the 3rd day, you're going to develop the bot. You're going to export it, or you can import another project. It's up to you. And you're going to take those 10 FAQs and we're going to build them using natural language processing and NOU using RASA. And this is a very, very powerful way to make sure that we're giving users the best experience, and that context is held, and that users could ask questions many, many different ways. So RASA automatically handles all of that for you. So you're going to learn how to use NLP. And by the end of day 3, you're going to have a bot that you can either take back to your boss, or you can implement it in your own company and have good results with it right away. And of course, you also get the certificate of NLP development. So if you haven't already registered, make sure you register now, because we do have limited capacity for our workshops. We try to give people one-on-one. Click below and register, and we hope to see you at the Chatbot conference.